Welcome to another episode of Survivor Speaks Investigates with your host, Survivor Speaks, excuse me. I know it's been a while, but your girl is battling some things in the background regarding my health, and my stress levels must be kept to a minimum while I continue to press through. I'll be sure to bring you up to speed once I am back in full effect. Enough about me for now. Today's video is about the YSL case. Yes, we are on day 133 and the testimony of Quantavia Zachary, aka Lil D, loves questioning, and Lil D's testimony started fireworks in the courtroom. It was a war against with Shardt against love, and Shardt did not mince words, and love took yet another L. So let's get into some legalities, and I'll be right back. This video is being shown to you under the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. And we're out. Yes, Survivor Nation, we are back. I am going to play a little intro song. It's by my artist, Young, that's YNG, Ty. He has decided that he wants to continue with his education. So right now our projects are on hold, but I'll forever love this intro that he recorded in about 7 minutes. He didn't write anything. He just listened to the beat and he just spit from the dome. So he's talented. So hopefully he rethinks it. Here we go.
Full cycle, I just might though, just like a Michael. Mama gone now, I'm thinking death is now we entitled. And it was me versus me, them battles had to fight through. And when you way in the dark, them demons try to fight you. But you can't let them when you gotta see the damn light. Diabetes came from nowhere, messed up whole life. That's what I used to think, my mama helped me out. I got one there in the sky to make proud, don't count me out. Let's get it started, rest in peace my mama, I don't wanna talk. Fresh fit, who that little nigga, fresh the way he walk. New drip, I'm that one dude creating all the sauce. News flip, you that one do the worker, not a ball. It's safe to say that after all this, I'm standing tall. It's safe to say that after all this, I'm still gon' ball. It's safe to say that after all this, I never fall. I never fall.
And that's right, we're back. He'll Never Fall. That is my anthem. I get inspiration from that. Y'all, he's 17 years old and has been fighting diabetes since he was 8. So let's get right into today's fireworks in the courtroom. Here we go.
Where they pick you up from?
Cleveland Avenue.
Where on Cleveland?
The store, I think.
Which store?
BP.
Was that the same one you were at with that gun?
Yes.
Where you got arrested in May?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you just normally hang out at the BP with guns?
Yes.
So when they came and got you, what did they do?
Yes.
Hold on, love. Shark wants to know, who are they?
Hey, I'm trying to figure out who we're talking about.
Your Honor, I, first of all, asked him about people, and then I referred to those people specifically.
All right.
So,
Who are those people?
Your Honor, I let Phil not to continue the question. He'll have no problem.
So is it a vagueness objection?
That's his face.
Your Honor,
I want to know why Love's so disrespectful and why she think that she could disrespect Shardt when he's there to protect his client just as well as she is trying to bring this false case against these young men. Like her attitude is ridiculous, but she gets gathered. Let's go.
Yeah, I was specific. I asked him about a specific set of people.
I don't know
and
what-
I specifically referred to them.
Yeah, why would
Maybe.
we want to know
I'm
what we're talking about?
Do you want to clarify, please?
I can continue, and then I can ask a separate set of questions. Of course, Mr. Shardt has him on cross.
Well, I think we should be clear about what we're talking about right now.
Ask.
Thank you. Go ahead and clarify.
When I asked you about Garlington, Moncton, and Shannon,
You said Garlington, Moncton.
you didn't hear me say Shannon?
No.
Yeah, let's
They
take a
was to
break. Hang on.
include-
Let's just take our
It was right here at this point where Love effed around and found out that the days of her just doing what she wants to do and walking all over Whitaker, well, at least for this moment, are through. And I want y'all to get into how Lil D has his he still has on his bracelet ID from the hospital, as well as a port where they're probably, giving him IV through. He has sickle cell, and that's something that he made public, his family made public, the courts made public. So I'm just bringing that to your attention because I don't want nobody else, saying, oh, she's up out here saying that, what about HIPAA? No, he's made it public. They've made it public. His attorney has made it public, and so that's what we can talk about it. I actually have the trait, and I have it nowhere as bad as he has. And so as a child, I was in and out of the hospital. But they call when you go into the hospital and you have the sickle cell crisis. So he's under a lot of drugs right now. He's under the influence of a lot of drugs right now legally, because he was just released from the hospital today, and they had arrested him. Went to the hospital and arrested him. That's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. I didn't want to be here too long. I need to go back and get in my own bed because I'm not feeling too well. But I just wanted to say, like, this DA, I don't know if she has any children, but I know that she doesn't have a heart. So, and for her to think that she can treat other people's children like that would be one thing if she would charge these guys separately for crimes that they committed, but you're so focused, she's so laser focused on young Thug. And I hope that still rings in the interview from where Thug explained, about all of this stuff, and it didn't even have anything to do with the case. He wasn't arrested as of yet. But if you go over to Thugger on Twitter, or X as they're calling it now, he posts up to the minute regarding this YSL case, and he has a interview over there that Young Thug did. It was way previous to this case. They've been locked up for some years now, and he explained about him growing up in hard times and him making it big and wanting to help everybody out in his community. This is the thanks that he gets, but also him reflecting on the things that he did as a striving, just trying to make it out there in the world when he was growing up and less fortunate. And he said he was reflecting and he realized that he was just trying to survive. So I think that's a great interview for still to bring into the courtroom. If they don't throw this thing out, it should have been a mistrial a long time ago. But here we are again. Come on, Whitaker, do what you need to do. This case should have been thrown out a long time ago, but let's go.
Hang on. Let's just take our mid-afternoon break right now.
Was completely dishonest, disingenuous, misleading, and gross.
And you
I objected, and I wouldn't have even thought about anyone doing this other than the fact that I've seen the prior behavior throughout this trial of this type of nonsense where we try to trick a witness into think we're saying they, meaning 2, 3 people, and then try to convince the jury that we're somehow including my client Shannon when it's clear that the witness is not following. That's what we're talking about, and it's disgusting. And I don't know how we cure it, but I'm going to move for a mistrial. I think it was completely intentional. Obviously, it was calculated. Obviously, when I asked for clarification, I would think anyone seeking the truth would gladly clarify. I'm seeking the truth. I would gladly clarify. No, it's sheepish grin and then.
All right. I understand your objection, and I understand what you were saying past that objection.
Whitaker, before you dig into her, Shardt talked about this steam coming off of his head, in a previous day of the trial. We can also see the steam today. They have had it. How this is day 133. What are we doing? But I want y'all to all enjoy Whitaker about to shut love down. But and she still gives us the love word toss salad anyway, because she's like a kid that's still being reared, and she's like one of those bad kids that have a hard head. And you know how our parents used to say, a hard head is going to make a soft. Am I saying this right? Hard head is going to make a soft. You know what? That's love. That's this district attorney that brought this case that nobody else would bring. And what boggles my mind is she doesn't have Doug is only charged with count 1, which is the RICO count. So she's taking all of these crimes that's happening in the areas and saying that these crimes are being done at the hands and on behalf of YSL, even after them being incarcerated for years. She is blaming crimes that are happening right now on YSL and Young Doug. It's mind-boggling, but enjoy this rare moment where she gets her behind chewed out. We all loved it and we all enjoyed it.
I think one thing you need to listen. I think that one thing that needs to happen is when an objection is made and you are given an opportunity to respond, and I make a ruling, even if that ruling is please clarify, that you then need to obey what my order is instead of continuing to argue.
Your Honor, when I ask for clarification and consideration, I believe that as an advocate and as a person who is actually representing the victims who have been victimized in this case and who.
No love. Shardt asks for clarification. You didn't ask for clarification. He asked for clarification. And you flat out treated him like he's just some ordinary Joe walking down the street, and like he has not been practicing law for years, and like he doesn't have his client's best interest at heart. That's what happened. Here you are with this word salad, further digging your feet into an issue because you've already been scolded by it. But we all know love can't take no for an answer. And even though she continues to take numerous L's day after day after day, she doesn't want to take a L. But even when she's winning, she finds a way to put her own foot back in it and turn it around on herself. She needs to learn how to be quiet sometimes. But that's not going to happen until Miss Paige Whitaker grows the backbone and throws this case where it belongs, back out on the streets. Let's go.
Presenting as much as actually more than an officer of this court, and I represent something. I believe that the state has as much right to express, to request, and to ask for consideration and for an allowance to ask the questions that it wishes to ask as the defense does. I believe, Your Honor, the objection that was made, and I understand what Mr. Shardt said, but there are a couple of things at play here. One, Mr. Shardt is well aware that Mr. Zachary has said that his client was with him. He has said it in the interview that I'm holding in my hand. He is not being honest with the court when he is claiming that Mr. Zachary had no idea what I was talking about. I literally said Shannon, Demikion, and Muktum, and I asked him how close he was with each of them.
Right. And then we went from that to his girlfriend, and then it was not unreasonable. And the objections could just be, vague, but it was not unreasonable to object to make sure that it was clear what the question was, who the they was in the question. And when I say clarify, that needs to be the end of it. And you need to ask a different question, rephrase the question, and let's move on. And there shouldn't be an issue with it.
Yes, Your Honor. If the state is not allowed to ask for a clarification or consideration, I understand.
don't know what you mean by that.
Your Honor, when I
A
asked
clarification of my ruling, is that what you mean?
when I asked for permission beyond what the court has instructed, I did not know that I should not do that, so I won't do that anymore.
That's not what was going on. You're basically, it seems to say, I'm asking permission to do something other than what the court has just ordered me to do. And so if that's what it is, then no, you cannot do that. If you need.
She is like a 5-year-old child throwing a tantrum. She wants to do what she wants to do. She wants to be the person that is running the court, because when Glanville was over this case, that is exactly what happened. And up until now, Judge Whitaker has been allowing her to get away with so many things, and has been allowing her to play in her face and run this courtroom as well. But each day, Whitaker has to see what we all see. Like, you can't be blind to this thing. And I'm not sure if she is told to try to keep this court case going by any means necessary, but this is beyond a mistrial. And the taxpayers of Fulton County and everybody across the world should be outraged. Everybody should be outraged, because this could be your children, this could be you, this could mean anything. So now we're going to start taking everything that somebody is saying in a song literally and trying to say that that's oh no, this is what happened, so these are all the crimes, and I don't know, but this, this, and they're rubbing their noses at the court. You rub your nose too in the court, love. So should we? Are you YSL a slime, as you're claiming is this dangerous game? No, this is dangerous what you're doing, because everybody that you've granted immunity, to the people from the outside, it appears that they committed some crimes that you have gave them carte blanche to get away with. And the people that you have in the courtroom that you're charging at this point, the 6 people that are on trial right now, you don't have much proof, especially when it comes to Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug. And I am no Young Thug fan. I'm a fan for what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. I have a male child, and I would hate for somebody to put my male child in this position when he's worked so hard and on so many different things, to get where he is today. He's not in the music industry, but like he, was doing a little podcasting and things like that. And I would hate for somebody to, just take what they're talking about on a podcast and try to turn that into a crime, when clearly it's not. My son has been working for the state since he was 18 years old. And he's been there a while, to the point where he's looking to try to move on to something else and still be able to collect some type of early, not early retirement, but he would be allowed to collect money from the years of service that he's put in. So let's get back to this.
a ruling, then of course you can ask that. And if you want reconsideration, then you can ask for that, but that does not need to go on in front of the jury. When I make a ruling, obey the ruling and move on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I really have an explanation for what happened. I think it was calculated. I'm moving for a mistrial. In the alternative, Your Honor, I do believe that there needs to be a curative instruction, or at least it needs to be clarified who they was. It doesn't matter what he said in the past. He lied in the past. I've already said that. I know what he said in the past.
All right.
But what he's
We don't know. You don't know that he lied. You don't know what the truth is and what the lie is if they are inconsistent. And there may even be a reason for that. Although if they're virtually diametrically opposed, there probably is not an explanation. But when you say he lied, we don't know that.
Okay.
Just like Ms. Love doesn't know when he lied.
Well, I'll put it like this.
And one more thing, Your Honor, before we go, I thought about Columbo. Was my favorite TV show growing up, and as an adult, I will watch the reruns over and over and over again. This was the guy, and in this moment, Shardt is like, all right. And one more thing before we go. Bring it on home, Shardt.
Mr. Stillwell was never charged with those crimes. And Miss Love was not asking about what he said in 2015. She was asking about today.
I understand.
And today, he was clearly responding, they meaning Mr. Garlington, and well, it's clear to me. I don't believe it's clear to the jury.
Don't talk while he's talking.
And I believe it needs to be clarified immediately because, of course, I will have an opportunity to cross, but I will probably not have an opportunity to cross for about 4 days. And I don't think we should be misleading the jury on direct.
All right, I'm going to look back at what the transcript says. I mean, and Ms. Love, you may, given that there's now a motion for mistrial on the floor, in assertion that you did things purposefully, you may respond to that.
I vehemently object to the mistrial. I vehemently object to any mistrial, and I beg the court to look at the transcript and see what I said right before I asked him the people that I just mentioned. And I would ask that the court, if the court deems it appropriate that such language is gross and all of the disparaging remarks made by counsel for the defendants are appropriate, that's one thing. But I'd ask that the court limit that type of behavior, which is, not becoming of officers of the court.
I agree with that. It is not becoming.
Well, Judge Whitaker just told her that she had a chance to respond to what Shardt was objecting to, and to the fact that he's moving for a mistrial from what just happened. And instead of her taking an opportunity to respond to that, she took the opportunity to respond to her acting like she's a 5-year-old brat. And she did not even, she just vehemently objects and all of that. But then, she went off on a tangent again, not using the reason to respond for what she should be using it for. And if you're somebody that watched this trial, it is mind-blowing how she gets in the courtroom every single day, even when she's not doing the questioning. And she's lying. And she's being caught in these lies. And they're either being pointed out, or the defense waits until it builds up and Shardt has a day like today where he's just not going to let it fly. And so these are the people that we have in our courts, presiding and bringing charges against people, false charges, if you will. And it's just not good at all. And before I go, next month, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the 1 month that we get to celebrate being survivors. You guys already know that I'm a survivor. If you want to support me in a way, you can go ahead and scan this QR code. This is the book that I wrote. And it's available on Amazon. Came out April 17th of 2024. And that's a way that you can support me. And I use the support to advocate for other people that have cancer. It doesn't necessarily have to be breast cancer, but it's whatever touches my heart. So I just wanted you to know the name of my book is called Surviving Strong, Overcoming Triple Negative Breast Cancer with a Resilient Mindset. I will be putting the book out again and changing the title. I'm probably going to leave off the with a resilient mindset because I'm not able to. It's on Amazon, but I'm not able to market it the way I want to because maybe the person that when I started to try to market the book, they took that I'm trying to say that you can beat breast cancer, triple negative breast cancer at that, by having a resilient mindset. That's not what it's saying at all. You have to actually shift your mindset to go through overcoming cancer and or whatever ailments that you may have, or even like Lil D here, sickle cell or whatever. And so that's just that will probably be the only reason why that I may republish the book and just change the title by taking off the with the resilient mindset so that I can market the book the way that I want to. People that have bought and supported the book, I've got a lot of good feedback on it. So just wanted to give you that. And we are going to get out of here. I did not want to be here this long. I just came to share day 133 with you of the YSL case. And they'll be back at it for day 134 on Monday. I'm Survivor Speaks, and it would not be me if I didn't tell you to get your mammograms. Fill up on your boobies to make sure that you are all right. And don't you dare let anybody ever come into your house and disturb the peace that passes all understanding. I am Survivor Speaks, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Keep it diva, keep it diva, keep it diva. I have arrived. Keep it diva, keep it diva, keep it diva.
Alexa, cut it off. It's got my head spinning.